Hey, good evening. It's Coach Jill, and this is our Monday night group coach call, and I'm here with Coach Paula and Coach Bonnie. Hey, ladies.
Hi.
Hello.
The chat is open, so please pop in the chat. Let me know that you're here. Love to know who's watching, and if you have questions through any of this call, please drop your questions in the chat. Love to get them answered for you. So utilize the chat as much as you can to talk with us. So let's get started here and kick off. And first of all, I want to welcome all of you to the call. Welcome, oh, Carolyn and Jen and Tina and Olga and Cindy. Awesome, thanks. Thanks, guys. Glad you're here. All right, so we're going to dig in. We're going to start these off a little bit different for anybody who's been watching before. We're going to focus a little bit more on broad topics rather than exactly what's happening for this week. So if you have specific questions about things for the week that you're in, please drop them in the chat so we can get those answered for you and make sure that you're getting the most benefit out of this call. So, all right, let's dig in. And the first thing that I really want to focus on tonight is the whole concept of failing forward. So no matter where you are at in the program, failing forward is a really key component in this. And this is something that you have to really practice. And as May always says, lean into to get used to Ogs, you'll find the link in Slack. You got to look in the general section. It's in there. Trust me, I just dropped it in. You will find that failing forward becomes something that you have to practice. It doesn't just instantly happen, and it definitely takes practice. So bear with me one second. We're just turning off my notifications here. So, okay. Oftentimes we get discouraged because maybe the program's not going the way we want it to, or maybe things are coming up, or all different aspects of things that happen, and life just happens. So therefore we have to lean in and learn how to deal with this, and also learn how to keep moving forward no matter what. So maybe it starts off with you didn't have a good morning, and maybe that not so good morning turns into a not so good afternoon, and maybe things are just kind of compounding, and maybe it's still not good. And you know what, it's all in how you look at your day. Really is all in how you look at your day, and it's really up to each one of us to be able to reframe those events in our lives and take a different perspective with that. So let's just start off with, you know what, maybe you got up and you just didn't feel like the juice that you were supposed to have, so you had a full breakfast. Okay, find the positive thing in that. Was it a healthy breakfast? Did you get your lemon water in? Maybe you had some herbal tea, and you forewent the coffee and things like that. So find the positives in that. And whenever I am having a day that's not quite the way I planned, I was trying to look for the good things. And we talked last week about, your 1% better. Always look for your 1% better. Well, maybe your 1% is just going to be getting back on track. That's simple. You're going to find it, and you're going to get yourself back on track. Cindy, I'm just going to mute you there. So you want to make... So you know what, maybe it's going to be that you're going to get yourself back on track, and you're going to move forward, so that you're going to make lunch better, or even just making your snack better. Maybe it's getting in some more water. So things like that. You want to make sure that you are taking control of the situation. And one of the things that we talk about throughout the program is not looking at those simple failures as a big failure. And oh my gosh, I had a really bad day today, and you know what, so I might as well just forget about the rest of the day. No. Use that bad episode as a stepping stone. You're going to use that to a stepping stone. Okay, this happened. I did this. How can I move forward? How can I move forward from here? What can I do to make this better? So you know what? Get right back on track. Get on and move forward with that. And I always remember when I first started coaching in this program, I used to hear the term of "I fell off the wagon" a lot. I fell off the wagon. Well, falling off the wagon sort of ensues that you completely blew it for a long period of time. And you know what? That's really not the case. That's not the case, because we're here to teach you how not to do that and how to get right back on track. And that's the key piece, and that's one of the earliest mindset pieces that we're going to work with you on, is how to fail forward and how to embrace that failure and how to work with that and make it into a positive and evaluate what you're doing. Penny and Paul, I'm going to pick on you both. What was one of the first lessons that you learned in failing forward?
I think I've always been very critical of myself, and I had to learn to, take that down a notch. I still think I am critical of myself, but, I do that. Failing forward does stay with me. It's like you said, okay, I was supposed to juice and I didn't. Instead, I decided I wanted to eat something because I was starving. But I can make the right choice. I can make the right choice, or I can make the wrong choice. And I made the right choice, so, be proud of that. Okay, you didn't juice, you ate instead, nobody died. It's like, so it's just, you kind of have to, again, mindset. You pick out the positive aspects of it.
Love it. Paula, how about you?
I have to agree with you. First of all, I'm not a fan of that. I fell off the wagon when it was one little thing that the menu said and you did this. As long as you're making the right choices, you're doing awesome. For me personally, I was very hard on myself when I started the program because I had a lot at risk if I didn't make some quick changes. So it's not like me to say that failure isn't an option because I'm pretty easygoing, but when I first started the program, man, I was all in. I knew that I had to do something. So if I struggled or was struggling or felt like I didn't want to do it, I just looked to the community. You and, because we were all together at that time, Penny and everyone, so.
I love that.
That's kind of how I handled it.
And I think Paula just mentioned the one thing that is so, so important in this. And, you're going to get to this later on in the materials, but talk about your support. Where's your support at? And you know what, maybe you have a partner that is supportive. Fantastic. But that's not always the case. So if you have no one directly that is in person with you that's your support person, then it's really knowing who you can turn to for that support while you're in this process of transformation. So maybe it's going to be your coach. Part of the reason why we assign you to a coach. So maybe it's going to be that you're going to reach out to your coach. And as we move forward, and I hear that our new membership site is supposed to be live this week, which is so exciting. But as you well, that's interesting. I don't know how I'm showing up in there. Olga, somehow on here it's me. I'm not really sure how, but you're typing as me in the chat. Anyways, so as we move forward, our new version of our membership site is going to be live this week. So that's going to be really exciting, and we are going to have a group inside there for those who are going through the coaching program. So you're about to have your number one. You're going to have a great new, the Fit Life membership community, but you're also going to have your own private space inside there. So you're going to have two options. Well, actually, that's three options because your coach, the Fit Life community, and a private coaching community, they're going to be there for you and be ready for you as you move forward. So I think that's really exciting that we've got that coming for you. And that is super important. Paula mentioned that back when we first started, we had a Facebook community back then, and we've moved away from Facebook. But that was a key piece for me too. And I can remember days when I struggled And a lot of it is actually learning to reach out. It's not so much where you're reaching out, but it's learning to reach out. I think so often we find ourselves thinking we can't ask for help, or we're afraid to ask for help, or we don't want to have to ask for help. And the key piece is knowing that, you know what, it's okay to ask for help. It's really okay to ask to be supported. It's really okay to reach out. So know that going forward, that you can always reach out for help. We are all here to support you through this journey, and we want to help you find success. And if there's a piece that you're struggling with, please don't think that you have to be alone in this. When we say we're in this together here at FitLife, we are in this together, and we mean that. So definitely. You know, sometimes you have roadblocks. Sometimes there's roadblocks, you know, in maybe your nutrition, or maybe it's with juicing, or maybe it's with fitness, or even your mindset. And it's really looking at those as, okay, is it really a roadblock, or is it not really a roadblock? Just a couple examples. You know what? Maybe you've got a family barbecue, and you go to a barbecue thinking, there's no way I can stay on track here. And then rather than looking at it that way and saying, there's no way, turn it around. Turn it around and say, you know what? What are the best possible choices that I can make as I'm standing here? Even if it's a long buffet, and one of my favorite things to do, I actually make it like a game for myself. Whenever I go to, you know, anything where it's like bring a dish to pass, I will go and survey everything before I even go through the line. Just kind of survey and make my best choices that I can before I even go through the line. And that way I'm prepared. Even in that 2 minutes, prepare yourself, make your best choices, and move forward from there. You can always bring your own food. You always have that option. And again, here's where it comes down to. Don't think that you can't do these things. Don't think that, well, I can't do that, everybody's going to talk. Or what are people going to think? Or, you know, what's that going to be like? Penny, I'm thinking it was you back when you started. Did you go to a family dinner and you took your juice with you? Was that you? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I have done that many times. Many times. We had, when I first started, I was just so committed and so determined, you know, and very strict. I'm not, let's say, as strict as I was then. I was like, I mean, right down to the letter, like, how many grains of salt can I have? You know? So, and I was doing well on it. And I was still in the detox phase that first month. And I made my juices and I took them. We had, I think it was a 4th of July picnic, actually. And I went to the kids and I carried my juices over there. And, you know, everybody was like, what are you doing? You know, they had hot dogs and apple pie and, you know, all kinds of stuff. And I said, you know, I'm juicing, and today's my A day, and so I'm drinking green juice, which was actually really good because I had it in the fridge and it was so hot, and my green juice was nice and cold. That was before Organifi days, too. We didn't have that to fall back on at that point. So, but it was really great. But, you know, I had a lot of questions about it, and, you know, why are you doing this? Well, you know, if that's all you're having. You know, I got those questions that, you know, shouldn't you be eating something? I'm like, well, I'm fine, you know, because I'd been juice fasting before, so there was no issue. But yeah, I had quite a few questions about that.
Love it. Paul, I'm going to come to you and pick on you for a minute and tell about what you had for friends back when you first started and how you approached that.
I missed the beginning of the question, though.
You had a dinner party for some friends, or you had friends over back when you first...
Oh, I did. Yes. So we had the very first week, yeah. Actually, right? So when we started, we didn't have the same program. We had we started day 1 with 1 through 4 was a juice fast. There was no easing into it. It was just bam, we did it. And then, so that was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday and Saturday we juice fasted and we were allowed to have soup. So I was having company, and that was a pre-planned dinner for probably at least a month, because we still get together with those same friends once a month for dinner. We rotate houses. So I was trying to figure out what the heck I could make that I wouldn't kill myself over, and um, I could live with, and the questions and all of that. Actually, I'm wrong. We had Friday was soup, and Saturday was, I think,
Soup and salad, wasn't it?
is that what it was? What?
Yeah, I think we got soup and salad.
Soup and salad or something like that, right? So, because I remember I made one of the soup recipes. I don't remember what it was called. I know it was good. That one with the avocado and the Asian sauce, or what, I can't think of what it's called right now. Um, and the tamari. And I made a big salad, and I made them grilled chicken. Actually, Frank did. And I made that pineapple sorbet that I was looking for the recipe not too long ago. And that's what I served. And I had soup, and I got to the salad, and I'll tell you, I could hardly eat anything. But it went fine, and it sparked a lot of conversation, and it was all positive. I mean, these friends that were friends of ours 25 years. And I made them stuff to eat, so it's not like I expected them to do what I did. But, so I just incorporated what was on our menu into my dinner. And normally I wouldn't serve soup, salad, dish, and dessert. I mean, I'm not that fancy. But I had to do something that night because I needed to know that I had what I needed to have after a whole week of, juice. So, but it went really well, and they were fully understanding. And you helped me with that soup recipe, I remember. So, yeah.
Yeah. And that's the key piece. That's the key piece. So what could have been, a really difficult evening for Paula back then, she turned that around. She totally turned her mindset around on it and said, you know what, I'm going to make this into something good, something fun. And I remember having these conversations with her, and she's like, what am I going to do? Mm-hmm. And it turned out really great. So, this is one of the key pieces, as no matter where you're at in this program, is how are you approaching this? How are you looking at this? Are you hiding in secret, afraid to let anybody know what you're doing? Or are you embracing this as a lifestyle change? And this is meant to be a lifestyle change and moving forward. And I know we've had several clients with families, and they're like, oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Well, you know what? Make the recipes. Serve the recipes. That's what they're there for. And when you start to incorporate this style into your family dinners, into, with your kids and things like that, you're going to build those good habits with them and show them, what's possible. It's interesting because one of our clients, she has 2 teenagers, and so she is, and Chona, and I don't know if you're on the call, but if you're watching the replay, her children are a very impressionable age right now, and she's got her daughter on the plan with her, minus the juice fasting, and she's starting to get her son into this. And I said, you know what, kudos to you for, at this time while they're impressionable, for starting to build these healthy habits with them and show them that, number one, this is a sustainable, livable, perfectly, appropriate lifestyle change that is great. And her kids are really embracing that, and I think it's fantastic. And that's, why you need to look at this as, most of the time, if you're a parent or whatever and you have children, your kids are going to eat what you provide for them, what you bring in the house. So if you change what you're bringing in the house, you're going to change what they're eating. And you're going to change, a lot of things about them. So, you know what? Think about those roadblocks and turn them around. Don't let them be roadblocks. Make them that stepping stone to success. And sometimes you need to bounce that off of someone in order to figure out, well, how can I turn this around? How can I make this successful for me? That's why we're here. That's why each of the coaches is here to help you move forward with this, to make it a more positive experience for you. So these are the key pieces in this And this is, how you really want to move this forward. The other thing that I really want to focus on as well is really how you approach this each and every single day. So no matter what phase of the program in, whether you're in level 1, level 2, level 3, whether you're detoxing right now, or whether you're learning to juice cycle, or whether you're in the middle of carbohydrate hyperdosing week, the best way to begin each day is really, starting out in gratitude, realizing that it's a new day. So no matter what happened yesterday, we start fresh today. It's a clean slate each day, and we move forward with that. Don't continue to focus on what happened. It's done. It's over with. Today is a new day, and you move forward from here. And maybe sometimes you're going to have to take that day minute by minute, and that's okay. That's okay. But one of the key pieces, and we talked about last week, you need to do your identity. So if you haven't done your identity, you got to get that done, period. You just got to get that done. The other thing is really starting to think about creating your vision board. Create that vision board. Make it you. Make it uniquely you. But the other thing is also practicing this daily gratitude. So if that is something that you struggle with, if that's not a natural habit for you, then use the tools that you have to create that peace for yourself. And it's really quite easy to do. We live in the age of Post-it notes, which are so easy to use. I think they're, I don't know, maybe a $1 or $2 for a pack. I don't even know because I haven't purchased any, but they're not that expensive. And you know what? Write your gratitude down on those. Stick it on your bathroom mirror. Stick it on your refrigerator. Stick it on your alarm clock so you're starting your day off with whatever you need to do. I used to put them on my steering wheel, and I used to put them in my locker at work. Whatever you need to do to make sure that you're starting your day off with gratitude rather than finding the negatives. And we've talked about lots of other tools. I know last week we talked about the Oprah and Deepak meditation program, which we're a week into it. And first of all, it's fabulous. I love this one. It's called Getting Unstuck. Loving it. But there's also so many other tools out there. And one of the other ones that we talked about last week was the I Can Do It cards by Hay House. And I will tell you, Hay House has all kinds of different cards like that. There's, I know that they have several different decks of them, so it's worth checking out. Or just create your own. Take some cardboard, create your own. It's really simple. Even just a stack of 3x5 cards. Write down what you're grateful for. So super simple. And if you don't want to do that, you know what? You got 5 fingers right here. Every night and every morning, find something for each finger that you're grateful for. Simple tool right here. And think about it that way. It doesn't have to be anything that's complicated. We really want to keep this simple and easy for you. So, you know what? Every morning when you get up, look at your hand and figure out 5 things that you're grateful for. It's that simple. One of my other favorite apps that I use, and I love it because it sets the reminders, and of course at the moment it's escaping me, so now I have to look it up to see what it is. But it reminds me every morning, and it is the 5-Minute Journal. Super easy. And every morning it asks me, what am I grateful for today? And every night before I go to bed, it says, what are you grateful for? What happened today? It takes like 3 minutes. It's nothing. So it's an easy way to start off your day. So if you're watching and you have questions, please type your questions in, whether you have questions about the nutrition, about detoxing, about juicing, about, the mindset. Let's get those questions answered for you and get you informed. We have about 6 minutes left on this call, so I want to get any questions answered for you that you have, or any feedback that you have. How did your first week go? How did your second week go? Where are you at in the program? So let us know how you're doing and what kind of questions you have, because that's why we're here. We're here to get this stuff answered for you. Who's watching? I know you're all watching and I can see you, but you're not typing in the chat. So type in the chat there. I'm going to start calling you out and asking you questions. So, and no, I'm not in the chat. Olga is somehow playing me in the chat. So, anyways,
How did that happen?
I have no idea. I have no
I
idea.
want to see if Carolyn was there, and then came out to me. I like that. Woohoo!
Yes, Carolyn is watching. Carolyn, we're all watching you.
Yeah. Yay!
You know, and exciting things. That's why I say if you watch this week, and we'll let you know as we get updates. But yeah, I'm really excited that the new membership site is going to be live. We've been working really, really hard on it. It's going to be beautiful. So that's coming this week. Jen said, I just want to say that reaching out really helps. I've done it daily. When I'm having a bad day, it helps. Yeah, you know what? That's the key piece. Know who you can reach out to. And I will tell you right now, if you don't know who to reach out to, I guarantee you can reach out to any one of us here at FitLife. And we will be here. We got, you know, as I always like to say, we got your back. And we do have your back. We want to see success for you. And don't think that even, you know, all my coaches are sitting down here in the bottom. Don't think that we don't have those days where we need to reach out either, because we all do. We all do, and we reach out to each other. It's really nice that we have this network. So, you know that you are part of the FitLife family, as we like to refer it, and we're here to help. We definitely are here to help, and we want to help you, you know, find success with this program. So if you're struggling with any of the material, if you're struggling with any of the pieces here, or you don't know what to do, or maybe you're like, you know what, I want to make this recipe and I'm confused on this, reach out to us. We definitely want to help you with this. So, Penny, Paula, any last minute? Oh, Tina says, hi, level 2, week 3, halfway. Way to go, Tina. Excited for new membership site. Getting out of the house helps for a tempting moment, or jumping on my air stepper. I love that. I love that. And yes, the new membership site is going to be awesome.
You're doing awesome too, and I'm going to check out that air stepper.
What? I don't know what an air stepper is, so I'm not.
So cool looking. She sent me a picture today.
I have no idea.
Cool looking.
Is it like a stair stepper?
It's this little thing. Here, I'll show you a picture. It's only her feet, so she shouldn't have a problem with it. It's so cool looking. Can you see it? It's just a little thing.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's very cool.
And so it's small, and like she said, she can travel with it, and I'm like, heck, it's easier than a treadmill or a elliptical in your house. And she said it comes with a band that has handles that you can put underneath it, so like you could, you know, do like curls or.
Nice. I love that. That's awesome.
Tomorrow.
That's
They
awesome.
use the home health for therapists to take them to the homes.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yep.
I should have known my exercise guru Leanne would know what it is.
I have not seen one like that before. I've only seen the full size ones. That's very cool. I like that. I like that. Any last minute questions? We've got 1 minute left, folks. So this is your last chance to get your questions in. So if you're watching, type in your questions. And in my last minute here, I'm going to say, if you have not turned in your results this week, it is Monday, and we talked about this last week. Mondays are results day, so no matter what they look like, no matter what it was, turn them in. Just turn them in, because we can't customize your program for you if you don't turn in your results. So get them in, get them over. Let's celebrate your successes. Let's help you move forward, as we just talked about on this call. Let's help you move forward if things didn't go so well for you, and customize that program so that you are seeing the results that you're looking to get. But in order for us to do that, you gotta send them in. I feel like a car dealer when I say that. Just send them in. Get them over to us. But send it over so we can help you with this. All right, well, with that, we're going to wrap up, and if you want more, we will be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Pacific, and we will, yes, Jen, I saw yours. We will talk. We'll be back tomorrow morning, so if you have questions, you can come join us tomorrow morning. Otherwise, we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.